Everyone, and welcome to our new Lawson Memorial Library Makerspace program. We have plenty of resources to help you learn, grow, and improve your technology skills. Are you looking for a fun, new, and exciting way to create digital art? For today's video, we'll look at a program called Medibang Paint, which allows you to create illustrations, comics, and other types of digital art. You might be wondering, how is this better than Microsoft Paint? Well, there are 3 reasons to use Medibang Paint. Number 1, don't put all of your eggs in one basket. Design programs are tools used by digital designers and artists to solve different problems for their work. Medibang Paint is one of the tools in your belt. Knowing when and how to use it alongside other tools will help you in a professional setting. Number 2, opportunities for designers today are ever-shifting and expanding. Everything from websites and online advertising to mobile applications and motion graphics is made by these creators. Number 3. Unlike many programs for designers and artists, Medibang Paint is free and allows users to save their projects. Medibang Paint is great because you can use it on your smartphone, tablet, or computer, and it comes loaded with lots of features. It's available to download at medibang.com/en. Make sure you're checking out the English language version. Since I've already downloaded the program, I'll begin by opening it. First, let's close all those pesky ads. Next, I'm going to choose Illustrate. When you start the program, you can choose a template type. We'll be using a US Comics template for this tutorial. You can choose a manuscript size, which determines how large the page you're working on is. You can also choose a resolution and a background color. I'm going to be using white as the background for this tutorial, so it'll be easier to see the illustration. I'm going to keep the height and width sizes the same, and click OK. You start out with the blank canvas. Next, I'm going to use an image of an outline. We're going to create peach and rose illustrations today. So we're going to go to File, open the image as a layer, and select the image we want. Layers are like sheets of a painted acetate that are stacked. You can see through transparent areas of a layer to the layers below. You move one layer to position the content on the layer, like sliding a sheet of acetate in a stack. You can also change the opacity of the layer to make the content partially transparent. You use layers to perform tasks such as compositing multiple images, adding text to an image, or adding vector graphic shapes. You can apply a layer style to add a special effect, such as a shadow or a glow, but we're just going to cover the basics for this tutorial. Now we're going to resize the image because that looks a little too small. We're going to go to Select, Transform, and this allows you to change the image's size. Next, we're going to click and move it to where we want it and resize it. Wow, that's a big peach. Alright, now that we've got the image, the next thing we need to do is create a new layer. One for the sketch and one for the digital paint. You're going to want to make sure that the paint layer is below the sketch layer so that when you color it in, the colors will be below the sketch. You have the ability to draw on and make any changes to your illustrations. You can also configure the tools and fine-tune the effects, making it easy to improve your painting style while keeping it simple. We're going to use the pen brush tool to apply the base colors. There are different brush sizes, so we're going to choose what works best for us. Now this brush is too small. That's much better. The sketch looks a little blue, so let's draw a black outline over it. By scrolling, I can zoom in. Now let's create another layer. To undo a mistake, hit Ctrl-Z. Additionally, if you're a beginner, a mouse user, or you have unsteady hands, you can increase the correction. So, for example, here's what it's like with low correction. Now here's what it's like with high correction. Doesn't that look a lot cleaner? Alright, now let's finish the peach by adding some green in those leaves. The stem needs to be brown though, right? Let's change that too. And there we go. Now our first illustration's done. Let's move on to the rose. I'm going to make the layers from the previous illustration invisible, so we have a blank canvas again. Now I'm going to go to File, open the image as a layer, and select the rose. And I'm going to go to Select, Transform, and make it a little bigger. I use Medibang Paint because it's efficient and easy to use. When I save my art and I transfer it to another device, this frees up storage space, so I can download more files. The best part is that Medibang Paint allows you to save your creations for free. I think that's a nice rose, but I think we can do even more with this program. We're going to experiment with the background a little more. Medibang Paint has simple shortcuts for drawing and saving your work. Although I haven't saved my work yet, the shortcut for saving your work is Ctrl-S, and the shortcut for saving the art under a different name or file type is Ctrl-Shift-S. Let's create a new layer and play with the snap tools. These tools are useful if you want to make a line completely straight or fit a certain pattern. The Parallel Snap tool makes the lines you draw parallel to each other, so let's use it. Now the Crisscross tool allows us to make lines that are, you guessed it, crisscross. Next we'll use the Radial Snap. This tool creates radiating lines from a point. The Circle Snap tool is used for creating circles and arcs. And lastly, we're going to use the Curved Line tool, which is useful for drawing ellipses. All of these tools can be used to make the background a lot more interesting, or really anything you draw. As you can see, the biggest benefit of Medibang Paint is the easy-to-use format, which allows you to create your art clutter-free. Before you exit Medibang Paint, be sure to save your work. To do so, simply click File, then select the location of where you want the file to be saved. Then click Save with the name of the file. There are several different types of files you can save your Medibang Paint file as. File types that are supported by Medibang Paint include MDP, Medibang Paint Profiles. This file type is a special form of Medibang Paint. Although it can hold text information and layer information, and the image doesn't deteriorate, in this form it cannot contribute to social networking services, such as Facebook or Instagram. PNG files. For this type of file, the file size is small. It can be saved as an image with the background transparent. However, layers aren't saved for this file type. It's a format suitable for posting to social networking services like Facebook or Instagram. JPEG files. For this type of file, the file size is small. Although you can change the compression ratio and image quality, the image deteriorates and degrades, so these images cannot be restored. Additionally, layers aren't preserved. My recommendation is to save your art as a JPEG file, since it is the most widely used of all file types. I hope you've enjoyed this program. If you're interested in participating in more programs, please follow us at Neva Lomason Memorial Library.